Hello, everybody. I'm Jenny Spinner, Chief Editor of Snack Food and Wholesale Bakery, and I'm here with.
Liz Parker Kuhn, senior editor.
So, we are here not to talk about all the product highlights from a month. We are talking about our most notable products from the whole year. And that was a difficult job because the people that read Snack Food and Wholesale Bakery that make those tasty snacks and innovative baked goods really outdid themselves. So there was a lot to choose from, but we did it. And now we're tired. And now I think we deserve free snacks. So please, no, don't send. I'm trying to do better about all the snacks in the bakery. I love to write about them, and I do like to eat them. But we're here to talk about them. So let us get to it. Oh, I should probably say, if you're new to this, this isn't a product review thing. We're not saying that this snack is great, this snack is delicious, uh, these cakes are amazing. This is more about what is innovative, on trend. Occasionally, our thoughts about how tasty something is might sneak in, but this is focused on the stuff that we think is worthy of our attention, your attention, and might hook the consumers. So, Liz is going to start us off.
Yep, my first product is the Insomnia Cookie Nachos. I believe this was January 2024. And I thought it was an interesting idea because it's basically cookies. And then it said it has a fancy sprinkles unicorn barf blend, which is not something you hear every day. But it's basically, it was cookies and they sent me some. They were quite tasty. It was cookies with chocolate sauce and sprinkles on top, hence like the nachos
Mhm.
concept. So I'd be curious to see how it did with consumers, but I know Insomnia has a pretty loyal base.
Yeah, I am dangerously close to an insomnia, and I like the whole concept of being able to get a fresh baked cookie whenever I need it, which is frequently. I deserve treats. One of the things that I like from Insomnia and similar companies is the kind of like blend of things, the dipping, and I think the cookie nachos kind of fits in with the whole TikTok girl dinner concept. You get to have a little bit of everything. You get to have the cookie, you get to have the frosting, you get to have the sprinkles, and kind of like it's you could eat it all by yourself because Lord knows I've gone to insomnia and not shared with anybody. But there is that ability to share with friends. So there's a social occasion thing that you could do. I am an old person and I am not I'm confused by the whole like the barf, the poop emoji in donuts, which is going like gangbusters out west at Pink Box.
Big
But
bucks.
as they say, the kids dig it. So good job, Insomnia. Keep that sugary goodness coming. Um, one of my products that I picked is Pop-Tarts Crunchy Poppers. So what they are is basically your the Pop-Tart, the toaster pastry that we know and love, many of us, shrunken down into like poppable little tidbits. Introduced and it's not like people don't eat the traditional Pop Tarts outside of the breakfast occasion that people most closely associate with it. People snack on them all day. This turns this into a slightly more convenient popper. Um, and interesting though, they recently, even in the short time that they since they launched it, they've renamed them to Pop Tarts Bites, which is more succinct. Makes sense. But I am there's two flavors so far, and I'm interested to see which ones they add as the this particular division of the brand uh proceeds.
I think I tried both flavors. I want to say it was like a chocolate and like a strawberry,
I think
right?
you're right, yeah.
They were really good. What I liked about them, it kind of follows the whole like on the go trend, especially like,
Mhm.
people are going back to work or wherever they're going during the day, they can just grab grab a package, put it in their purse. And then I'm kind of a weirdo and I like to eat Pop-Tarts without cooking them. And it kind of reminded me of that, except more crunchy, which I liked.
Yeah, you are not weird. So this is one of my favorite things. If you're familiar with the show the makeover show Queer Eye, um Jonathan Van Ness. He's the hair guy. He has, I think he's done YouTube videos and ads, TikToks, for Pop Tarts because he's such a big fan. He intimated on, as he guested on another podcast, he likes to eat Pop Tarts. He put the two in the toaster, hit the slot. While he's waiting for the toaster pastries to toast, he'll take two more out of another one of the foil envelopes, put the two top tarts on top of each other and just eat them like a sandwich.
Yeah,
So
that's fun.
that sounds amazing. That is more Pop Tarts than I think I've ever consumed at one time. So
That
yeah,
is a lot.
they are a better person than me. Um
Although lately with Pop Tarts, I don't know if you saw this, but they just had the Pop Tarts Bowl last month, and all I saw all over Instagram was the mascots trying to like eat each other, which was interesting, an
I had
interesting fun
I
thing.
Well, my friends are very mixed on the marketing. There's about half of the people that are like, what is going on? And then there's me that I think I have, after being subjected to ads of all sorts and marketing of all sorts for, 5 decades now, when things get weird, I pay attention. So that grabbed my attention. And I think the reason why the people at Kellanova are doing stuff like that is because it gets attention. So well done on the edible zombie mask. Very nice.
Zombie Pop Tarts.
Liz, you got another one, right?
Yep. My next one is more of a, well, I guess it's like a sweet and savory. So earlier last year, AMC Theaters announced they were going to bring artisan pizzas and donuts to their menu. So I no longer go to my favorite AMC, unfortunately, because I've moved. But whenever I went there, they had like a great menu. I would always get like the pretzel bites, or they had pizza, but I don't remember them having like anything crazy for pizza, like, pepperoni, things like
Mhm.
that. So I found this interesting. I feel like they're trying to compete with other theaters. For example, we have a local chain called Imagine, and they have basically anything you could want, and they'll deliver it to you at your seat too while you're waiting for the previews or right after the movie started. So I think this is their attempt, and I believe they had other stuff throughout last year too, to their menu, adding other things. So I think this is their attempt to kind of compete on that level.
Yeah, they're competing with a bunch of things, what I've read. They're competing with other theaters, obviously. But they're also competing with people and the whole dinner and a movie date concept, whether you're married or
Yep.
you're dating. Um, if you have food options that are more than just popcorn and candy, which fine with me. I will eat snow caps and popcorn for dinner. If you're if you're a normal human and you want to have like real food, having it delivered to your seat so you can go to the movie saves time. My next choice is Oreo Space Dunk cookies. I'm not going to go on again about how when I was a kid there were two kinds of Oreos. That's the way it was, and we liked it. But years and years later, now that I'm in my old age, it's fun as a consumer seeing Oreo have fun with flavors, going from minis. Um, and now we have this iteration, um, limited time Oreo Space Dunk. It was different designs on the cookies, space themed. There was a space travel promotion that went with it, but the cookies themselves were the traditional chocolate sandwich cookies. Inside was two layers, bright pink and bright blue, of marshmallow flavored cream with popping candy in it. And I was a big fan. I was sad to see them leave the shelves, and I just thought it was fun. If anybody from Mondelez is listening, and I know you are, put these on the shelf permanently, please, because I love them. So that's me being a consumer and offering a review. But from a journalism standpoint, it's fun when brands have fun because the consumers are more likely to have fun and repeat buys.
Yeah, Oreo, I think I've said this before in other videos. Oreo, I feel like has the hardest working food scientist because I feel like every other month there's a new Oreo flavor out. I do remember these now, and I remember the space promotion, so I remember thinking that was a cool idea. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if they do bring it back at some point.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know how many LTOs they've brought back like as a permanent flavor.
I do know if you oh, I was going to so while we're sitting here talking about Oreo, um I almost picked, let me Vanna White for a second. Oreo did a partnership with Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola flavored Oreos, which were Coke signature red on one side and the traditional Oreo sandwich cookie on the other, with red filling. And it they also had obviously this drink that I'm holding that went Oreo flavored Coke and Coke flavored Oreos. Uh, Limited time. I think they're still on shelves. I gave them to my friends at a party and mixed reviews. I thought they were great, but I'm definitely a fan of this because here I am drinking it. I just started this at the start of this video where only a few minutes in and I'm already done. So two thumbs up from this consumer. And also thank you again for Mondelez for giving snack journalists interesting things to follow. Okay, Liz, it's your turn. Sorry, I'm talking. I'm very chatty today.
So my next product, I have it's like a twofer, and then I have another one to add on. So tahine is like everywhere, and it was everywhere in 2024. So we had GH Creators, I think that's how you say it, popcorn with tahine at Costco, and we had Tillamook Country Smoker tahine flavored beef jerky.
Mhm.
So like it's interesting because tahine I could definitely see on like a savory tree, like popcorn beef jerky. The other product I wanted to mention was Snack Club or Snacks Club. I don't know how you pronounce it. They sent me a bunch of samples of their tahine things, which were more sugary. So it was like they did have
Yeah.
pretzels, chocolate covered pretzels with tahine, but they had like chocolate covered gummy bears with tahine and like a peanut corn cluster.
Hmm.
So I just found it interesting that it was just like everywhere last year. And my guess is that consumers are looking for something more spicy to snack on.
Yeah, it's tahine is more than just the snack and the candy aisle. I've got shaker in my cabinet because it's not just heat, there's a little bit of other flavor to it. Um I couldn't tell you. It's probably a secret blend of spice, herbs and spices like KFC, but you can get it ringed around your Bloody Mary at my local haunt where I watch the Bears beat the Packers on Sunday. Um, it's a flavor. People are more interested in spice, Latino flavors than ever before. They're interested in mixing sweet and savory. So yeah, well done, Tahine, and getting on everything. Um, my next one. Earlier in the year, Pepperidge Farm introduced London Fog Milanos. If you're familiar with Pepperidge Farm, a Campbell brand, uh, Milanos are a two pretty thin cookies with a thin layer of chocolate between them, and they're very fancy, very classy, I think. But this variation is infused with the flavors of Earl Grey tea, which is kind of like a floral note, vanilla note. And I thought these were fun because they took a brand and a line that we're familiar with and gave it a twist that I thought was interesting. And they engaged the services of Hannah Waddingham, who played Rebecca on Ted Lasso, which I'm a fan. So that was a fun little promotion, fun limited time product. And on this one, I got myself a couple packages and did consumer research with my friends, and people responded to it really well, even people that don't typically drink Earl Grey tea. Earl Grey tea being the tea of choice of Captain Luke Picard on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Trivia question there. Liz, did you ever get to try these, or what do you think of these, just from a consumer or for a journalistic standpoint?
So I didn't get to try them, but it's interesting to me. You said, Milanos are like, I don't think you said fancy, but it's like a classy cookie. Because I thought it was a smart on their idea to have like a London Fog theme, Earl Grey theme, and then Hannah Waddington is also everywhere. Or Waddingham, I forget her name.
Yeah.
She's also everywhere this year, even though Ted Lasso's ended. So that was smart on their behalf. I actually just published a post today. Pepperidge Farm is doing white chocolate Milanos.
Fun.
And again, they used words like, premium and classy and things like that. So they're trying to get Milanos associated with that basically. So I'd still like to try these at some point, maybe if I see them on the shelves.
Yeah. It's wild. Sometimes these LTOs, you can find them on eBay for crazy amounts. So I think these are long gone from retail shelves, but maybe you can go onto eBay and find your very own package for 29.99 or something.
Right.
But
Yep.
or maybe Campbell's will bring it back. Who knows?
Yep. We'll see.
You've got
Uh,
another one product you'd like to talk about, right?
Yep, my next product is Deep Indian Kitchen and their Kati street wraps. I think it's pronounced Kati. So there was an Indian, we have a lot of Indian food around here, which is great because I
Yep.
love Indian food. And there was a place I went to once and they did these types of wraps and you got to like choose what protein and like what toppings and things you wanted, toppings, like the things inside. And there's another place I've done delivery from before and they do something similar. But this is great because I believe it's frozen, so you can just keep it in your freezer and have it for like a quick lunch. There's another brand that does this called Suki's, so I'd be interested in like comparing the two.
Yeah, it's fun seeing Indian food kind of like take off. I'm looking for words. They're like flying in the air, my brain, hard to grab. Um, I am lucky enough to live in Chicago and close to a couple of markets that are big and that have different nationalities, cuisines. And Deep is one of the brands you can find in the frozen section of my local market. Moore's Fresh Market is the smaller. Fresh Farms is the bigger one that has a bigger selection. But Deep is one of the brands, and it's really interesting finding them in more unexpected places. Like I'm in Chicago, so Jewel is my Albertsons, and I think I spotted them there. Um, but we're always writing about how consumers are interested in more international flavors, new eating experiences, and it's Indian is got these flavors that I think we're seeing more and more of them in snacks. If Rob's backstage popcorn, in honor of, um, I don't know my Jonases. I'm too old. Which one is married to Priya Chopra?
The Joe
Is it Joe?
Jonas?
Okay.
Yeah, I
But
think
in
so.
honor of her, they came out with masala flavored popcorn, and I think that was an LTO. But I love the blend of warm spices and masala, garam masala blend. So uh, everywhere, I'm not the only person that likes Indian flavors. So well done, Deep. Um, my next one is not adventurous, but as someone with a sweet tooth, I love chocolate. But chocolate, if you have too much of it, too much real chocolate, too much sugar for me. What I like is some of the brands like Skinny Dipped has just a touch of chocolate on their chocolate covered almonds. Blue Diamond has come out with frosted brownie almonds. Forgive me for not remembering if this is a permanent edition, seasonal, or an LTO, but they did come around the holidays. And it's just a dusting, a light coating of like chocolate powder on the almonds. And if you've got a sweet tooth, it's enough to quell that, but a lot less sugar than something that is just this. I'm making myself hungry. Something that's like got a thick coating of real chocolate, your typical chocolate around it. So, as someone with a sweet tooth, I appreciate the balance between the protein and a little bit of salt, and just a touch of sweetness. So Blue Diamond, I hope that does well, because I like having low sugar sweet options.
I want to say this is a seasonal one, but don't quote me on that. It's been a while. Yeah, so it's funny you mentioned Skinny Dipped because these did remind me of Skinny Dipped. I forget if they sent me samples. I think they did, but it's just that you get that little bit of indulgence, but you're not like going overboard, which is nice.
Hmm.
My next product is kind of more, it's like a sweet and salty, I guess, type of deal. So Baked by Melissa, one of the first times I went to New York, I had her cupcakes. She's got, I think, a few locations in New York. She did a collaboration with Clausen, the pickle brand. You heard
Nice.
that right. And they did pickle cupcakes. And I love pickles and pickle flavored things,
Oh,
especially
good.
like you see a lot of chips now that are like pickle flavored or usually like salty snacks that are pickle flavored. But this was a little too much for me. They sent me some. I took a bite. I was like, this is they nailed the flavor. It was very pickly, but I couldn't do it. I ended up I'm in a couple of like buy nothing groups on Facebook and I said, "All right, I have a, half-eaten box of these pickle cupcakes. Who wants them?" And I got to take her. She was excited to try it. So it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I found it interesting.
So I'm going pickle crazy over in this house. Because not only do I love pickles, naturally fermented pickles. Most pickles are made by soaking cucumbers in salt and vinegar and other stuff, but real fermented pickles are good for your digestive system because of the probiotics and all this stuff. Enough about me. I will eat just about anything pickle, including sweet stuff. I'm in a house where not everybody loves mint. Try finding toothpaste that isn't mint. So when a company called Grillo's, they're a refrigerated pickle company that's been around for a bit, announced a partnership with the natural toothpaste Boca. Um, I got that for a stocking stuffer, and it's weird, but if you like pickles, it's great. So I'm not the only person in the world that loves pickles and will eat literally anything pickles. I have not had these, but if I were close enough, I would have been on that buy nothing group and getting those pickle cupcakes from you. Like I said, there's so many people that would turn their nose up at this, but there's enough of us that like flavor adventures. And like I said, Liz and I are constantly writing about trends, and something that comes up year after year is people want to try new things. And this is a new thing. So congratulations to Melissa, whoever she may be, and the Clausen team for having the cojones to come out with this bold, adventurous product. Um, Something that's a little less adventurous and more traditional. If you are if you are Jewish or Jew adjacent, as that I'm the second, Manischewitz is a brand that you know and love. They've been around for I think a century. And they have products, foods, mixes of traditional Jewish stuff like potato pancakes, latkes, matzah balls, matzah, the crackers that one of my friends who's Jewish is like, yeah, matzah is a joke that Jews play on the rest of the world. We don't actually eat them. They do. But you got to put stuff on it like cream cheese to make them taste good. Manischewitz recently they did a couple of things. They did a redesign of their packaging, and they traditionally like white, green. I'm picturing the old logo in my head. This is what this is. Green and orange. And they made them more like single colors, but the graphics are now just really cute, really bold, people enjoying Jewish traditional foods. So they came up with a new redesign, but also since like 9 months since they introduced this redesign, they've come out with new products. I'm a fan of the frozen latkes because if you've ever tried to make latkes from scratch, it's a pain in the butt. They do have mixes which are powdered, and the powdered versus the freshly shredded potatoes, it's a little bit of a different taste. So the frozen latkes are a nice balance. So you could just like pop them in the oven. I think you can also pop them in the air fryer, 20th century way, and boom, fresh hot latkes. So I'm a big fan of Jewish food, even though I was raised Catholic-ish. So these definitely grab me, and they are eye-catching. Every time I see them in the shelf, my eye goes to them. So the new products and the new fresh new look are both things that I think will resonate with consumers.
Yeah, I forget I know you just mentioned it, what the old look looked like, but the new one definitely is eye-catching with the orange. They sent me some latkes. I am Jewish, my mom's Jewish, my dad is not, so we do like a Hanukkah/Christmas type thing. So we had them there for like appetizer. They were good. I will say they were more like hash browns to me, and they're shaped like hash browns, which kind of
Yeah.
threw me for a loop. So I kind of wish they did at the very least like a circular shape, but I have the mix. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm curious to try it to make that and kind of compare the two.
Yeah, I always have a mix of at least the matzo ball soup. Because chicken soup and matzo ball soup are really good if you get a cold. And I am, knock on wood, haven't had one in a while, but having one ready when I do is nice. Oh, it's your turn. Yeah.
Yep. Mine is going back to like the sugary type aisle, although technically the cereal aisle.
Mhm.
So earlier this year, Crumble partnered to do a cereal with Kellogg, and it reminded me of there was this cereal I don't think that's made anymore called Cookie Crisp, and it reminded me of that where it's like cookie
Always
shaped and it
around.
looks
Yeah.
like cookies. But the reason I bring this up is Crumble's been doing like a lot of partnerships over the past year.
Mhm.
I keep seeing them pop up everywhere. Like they did a partnership with Dove and people are like, oh, that could be like yummy. Like you want to smell like a cookie. Basically, there's like body wash and shampoo, I think.
Oh,
So this was interesting to me because this was, I feel like, one of the first partnerships that came up last year.
yeah, I am Kellogg and other cereal companies. I'm a big fan of when they do stuff like um Little Debbie had a number of cosmic brownies, Nutty Buddy, but the oatmeal cream pie, I hope it's an LTO because I ate way too much of it. It tasted weirdly like the actual cookie sandwich. Um, who doesn't love a fun collab? I sure do. Consumers like seeing their favorite brands in other places outside the expected place, and this one was a fun one to watch. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. My next one, speaking of collabs, so and Liz and I did this earlier this year. We're doing it again. Two Girl Scout products in a row. Mine is Think, which is the nutrition bar company owned by Glanbia. Did these Girl Scout cookie inspired mini bars. So they're short, sweet, 100 calories a piece, and the flavors are drawn from the cookies that you know and love. The peanut butter. I'm for a Girl Scout. I should remember the names of these things. Thin Mints. That's everybody's favorite. Um, I'm gonna say tagalongs. Tagalongs. That's the peanut
They're
butter.
my favorite.
Um, and some, I think Samoas are in there, the coconutty chocolate ones. Forgive me again for my memory failing me. But as a former Girl Scout and a fan of the mission, empowering girls, giving them someplace to go and learn new things after school and on the weekends, go to camp. I went to Girl Scout camp. Yeah, Girl Scouts has had a number of collaborations. Speaking of body wash, they had a girl, I saw a display, native, natural body wash. And I got really excited when I saw their Girl Scout body washes. I didn't think they were scented strongly enough. I'm a girl that likes her smells. But then I decided I didn't want to smell like food anyway, because what if people try to bite me walking down the street? Better to have a Girl Scout collab that is food related, like Liz's next pick.
Yep. I was gonna say, when I lived in Illinois as a kid, Chicago area, actually, I was a Girl Scout and I remember selling them and tag-alongs were always my favorite. And in college, I saw some Girl Scouts. I was going to buy some and I said, "You have tag-alongs?" And they were like, "What is tag-alongs or what are tag-alongs?" So that made me feel old because I guess there's two different names for it now. There's
Oh
peanut
no,
butter patties and tag-alongs.
yeah, no, we're I'm hoping to talk to the people that run the Girl Scouts of America, that run the cookie program, because one of the interesting things about it is there's a bit of standardization, but it's not completely unitary because they deal with local bakeries. So
Yep.
I used to know the names of all of them that ran around the country, especially in the Chicago area, but um yeah, it's an interesting program. I would love to know how they select uh bakery partners, how they determine who's going to do what. I'm not sure about if they partner with somebody, say in Chicago, if just one company makes all of them, if they partner with people for the Thin Mints, different company for. I would love to know more about it. So stay tuned for that content. And if you're a Girl Scout of America employee listening, call me. No, don't call me. I won't pick up. Email me. Um, my next thing is something that if you attended Sweets and Snacks in Indianapolis, you got a sneak peek of Pringles Mingles. So they showed them and they sampled them at the show. What they are is Pringles has forever been as a character in the most recent Ghostbusters series said salty parabolas, potato crisps in that traditional shape. Well, Kellanova decided to have a little fun with the brand and turn them from the salty parabola to an extruded puff with different flavors in the shape of Mr. Pringle's bow tie. They're in three different flavors, including pickle, flavor that Liz and I both know and love. And I mean, they're good, but it's interesting to see the brand expand into new territory, new shapes, new formats. It's fun. I've seen them in stores. Friends that have tried them have responded to them, picking them up and responding to them. So it'll be interesting to see how this brand that Kellanova has bet on expands in the near future.
They definitely sent me some samples of those. I didn't get to talk to them at Sweets and Snacks. I think that was your appointment, but I
Mhm.
brought the I believe it was cheddar. I brought it to a game night and they were gone like fast.
Oh yeah.
So people are liking those, is my guess.
Hmm.
And then I have the last product. I'm going to back up a bit because we forgot to go over my Girl Scout product because we got wrapped up talking about Girl Scouts. But the Girl Scout product I was going to talk about was Girl Scouts Thin Mints Muddy Buddies made by Chex, General Mills. So if you like the taste of mint, you will like these because they definitely did. They sent me samples. They definitely did taste like the cookie, which was pretty interesting. I would be curious to like take a poll because you were mentioning Thin Mint is one of the most popular flavors. I'd be curious to see, which like take a poll of consumers and see which flavors are the most popular.
Yeah.
But Thin Mints is definitely one of them because you see their collaborations everywhere.
Yeah, I come from Chicago, and when I first was introduced to this concept, it was in my family, people puppy chow, and
Yeah.
the original recipe was peanut butter and chocolate, and then powdered sugar to keep it from sticking. So I think it would be a natural would be the tagalongs or the peanut butter patties, depending on what Girl Scout council you're part of.
I was gonna say, puppy chow, I feel like is definitely a Midwest thing because I've asked other people about it, non-Midwesterners, and they don't know what I'm talking about. But I was at Meyer maybe a month or two ago, and they had it like for sale in the deli section, which was a weird choice. It was like, puppy chow, and it was like $5 for like a little box of it. Like it looked homemade almost, so that was kind of interesting. My last product is two of my favorite brands, Portillo's and Milk Bar did a cookie collab. It sounded amazing. I never got to try it. We finally have Portillo's in Michigan. We have two of them,
Mhm.
and neither of them are close to me. They're both like 30 to 40 minutes away. Although I did get to go a couple weeks ago, which was nice. So I thought this was an interesting collaboration because both are pretty well-known brands. I don't know if it was just sold at Portillo's or just sold at Milk Bar or sold at the grocery store. It might have been a mix of all three, I forget. But I think it probably resonated with consumers.
Yeah, I'm in the land of Portillo's. Portillo's started, I want to say in the 60s in the Chicago suburb of Villa Park. And I have lived in the Chicago area for my entire life, but I don't think my hometown of Streamwood got a Portillo's until early 90s. And that is about the time that Portillo started popping up everywhere. I'm in the far north side of Chicago, but there's one not too terribly far away in the north suburbs. So I go there a bit. More interesting than that, Milk Bar, Christina Tosi, the woman behind the Milk Bar empire, has really done some interesting stuff. Milk Bar is known for their the New York City origin, their restaurants and their high-end desserts, but she's come up with some CPG stuff. You can find her brand in I know I've seen it in Target. They have ice cream and some really interesting flavors. They refrigerated stuff. I think they were reconfiguring their packaging. I clearly need to, there's no alcohol in this. This was pure Coke. Um, Reconfiguring their packaging at the Target by me and getting rid of their Milk Bar refrigerated cookie stuff. So it was marked 50% off. I took
Mm.
all of it. All of it, which
I
is a
would
terrible
too.
idea. And this I get free stuff all the time. I don't need to be buying Milk Bar cookies, but there's some things you just don't pass up because I'm a consumer right now. I'm not a journalist. She has her fans. She's written a book. My boss, group publisher Doug Peckinpah, when he heard that she's bringing a location to Chicago's Fulton Market area, and there's a possibility of me talking to Miss Tosi when she's here ready to open. He's like, I can be your videographer. Because she's just doing really fun stuff with desserts that are high end but accessible. Um, and this, I mean, she's done food service collaborations before, but I think this is the first one that's like a chain that's national and not just East Coast. So yeah, it's always fun collabs. How many collabs have we gone through now in our series of stuff? Those grab our attention as journalists, but and we'll see if this one succeeds. They grab consumer attentions too. So well done, Toasty and Dick Portillo.
I think that's all we have. I think we finally gotten through it, right?
Yeah, I don't think I'm fit to work anymore. So but thank you to all the producers that came out with fun stuff, giving us something to talk about. If you are a snack, baked good or candy producer, send your stuff. We would love to hear about your new products. We would love to talk about them in this video. If we think that's something that is interesting enough to talk about. My email spinnerj@bnpmedia.com. Liz has a longer email.
Yep, it's Parker and then KUHN at bnpmedia.com.
Well, those are the best products of 2024. Liz and I will be back next month to talk about the best products of January 2025. So stay tuned for that and more other fun videos. Until then, thank you and goodbye.